All right, I have been given the task to talk about how sustainable innovation can transform the fashion industry. Um, Basically, when I was talking with Conrad, that I was thinking that what to say about that, and practically I have found that if I present Spinnova, that will be already telling that how to transform the industry with the innovation. I have been in this industry for a while. Actually, throughout my career, I am in the fashion industry, and when I joined to Spinnova a couple of years back, I had actually a mission because I have been seeing something very closely as I have been working in different phases of the supply chain, or let's say in the production, in the textile production, in the for a brand, etc. So these are some of the numbers. I know many of those you know, and some of those numbers are very repetitive. There are some questions also with these numbers. Some are maybe more, less, but these are numbers. We agree that there are some problem and something happening in the industry that is environmentally quite drastic. So based on these, I think I would start my presentation that what actually Spinnova is doing. We, as I told you, that I joined to Spinnova with a mission, and I think well, all companies have a mission, but we really aligned with this mission that we produce most sustainable textile material in the world. Well, when we are saying this kind of thing that we produce the most sustainable textile material in the world, we have to back that what it is. And actually our technology itself is self-evident that why we are producing the most sustainable textile material, and that should be better for the environment. Then I directly go to the what is our basically innovation and what is about the Spinnova process that kind of, hopefully it will work, thanks. The Spinnova innovation itself and the process, so I will be trying to cover up that what it is basically and how it is going to change the industry, or actually already it started. Looks like it's working. I have been trying to present it very simple way that how this whole thing works. Probably some of you are already known about it. So we get the raw material. At the moment, we use various different kinds of raw material, but main raw material we use at the moment is wood-based raw material, so the pulp. And of course, we do not do the pulping. Our partner, for example, at the moment, Suzano, with whom we are scaling up our innovation or scaling up is going on. They are doing the pulping. They are the actually world's largest pulp producer. And then what we do that we take the pulp, that's a kraft pulp, that's a raw pulp, and we take and convert it to the microfibril level. So we call it the microfibrillated cellulose. And that's also a mechanical process. Of course, I have to mention here that the Spinnova process is basically a mechanical process, or maybe we can say thermomechanical process. What starting from the refining that when we produce the microfibrillated cellulose, it's basically also a mechanical process. And so microfibrillated cellulose are basically our main raw material. It's like a lotion. It's like a cream. So you basically can feel it, touch it as like the lotion. And then we produce a fibril suspension out of that. And that's what we are putting to the Spinnova technology, meaning that we are through the spinneret, and very simple things are happening there. We evaporating the water part and the solid contents are remaining. It means that converted to the fiber. So what is important to notice, we are basically producing the fiber in a way that we don't need to use any water. We don't need to use any chemical. We don't need to use anything else than electricity to heat up, basically. And as a result, from our process, we basically don't get any wastewater. We don't get any solid waste or even anything air emission, because only thing we do is converting the water to the evaporating the water, and we are getting it back as a condensate. So this is a very simple overview of our process. On the left-hand side, might be you will see that there are different raw material stream. I will talk about that. But the main thing is that in the technology part, we produce the fiber suspension or fibril suspension. We pass it through the spinning process, and we do kind of a drying or evaporating. And that's produce the fiber. So it's basically what we are putting in, we are getting out as a fiber. If anything bad there, it's remaining. If it is good there, anything remaining. So it's a completely natural substances that we use in the fibril suspension. So I suppose this is coming out as a good thing. We had actually with this technology, Spinnova technology is basically a platform, and with that basically, sorry, I am going one step ahead, or probably, yeah. Spinnova technology is basically a platform, so we are able to basically use many different kind of raw material with the same technology. I'm coming with the raw material part, but I think very important thing, I have been putting this slide just to show you that this is something different than other man-made cellulosic fibers. So in our case, we are producing it in a mechanical way, as I have mentioned. But of course, other man-made cellulosics are produced in a very chemical way. So those are those needed use some kind of chemicals, even harsh chemical, and definitely water. And when you have chemical, you need to wash it off. That we learned in different kind of chemical processing, which means that we need to use a lot of water. So that's, I think, the major difference between Spinnova and any other man-made cellulosic fiber. From the raw material part, I think that as I mentioned, that wood-based raw material is our principal raw material, but we have been able to use many other different kind of stream. One of them are agri-waste. We have a nice proof of concept. Actually, the picture you see, it's from the wheat straw, from where we have been able to produce the fiber, then the yarn, and of course the fabric. And one of the area we are of course focusing very much on is the textile recycling. When we are talking about textile recycling, it's basically at the moment our focus is to take off the Spinnova's share and recycle that part. So we are talking about recycling of Spinnova. And in the future, we will be able to integrate also other cellulosic fiber like viscose, cotton, whatever the cellulosic fibers are. And on top of it, one very interesting thing is coming that we are able to use leather processing waste as a raw material, and that's completely different stream, and we are producing completely different kind of fiber with that, and actually that is a protein fiber. That's basically using the same Spinnova technology, but we are expecting completely different fiber out of that. And we have already a pilot running on that, so we hope for the best for the future that we will be scaling up. These are the part that the innovation and the raw material, yes, we going towards commercialization. We have been working on it from 2021, and I think that the phase we have reached is quite satisfactory. Everything is going according to plan, although this kind of situation all over the globe, but I think it's going quite well. Just to give you a brief that how Spinnova business works, we have different raw material stream. As I mentioned to you, we have wood-based raw material, we have leather processing-based raw material, waste-based raw material, then agri-waste, textile waste, etc., etc. But at the moment, our main focus is the wood-based raw material, and that's where we are basically producing our first commercial scale plant, and that's called Woodspin. So we are doing it together with Suzano, the largest pulp producer from Brazil. And the Respin side, we are doing the collaboration with ECCO, and we have established also a pilot plant for that, a separate pilot plant for that. And Spinnova is staying in the middle to work as a technology provider. Of course, in the joint venture also our existence there. Like in the Woodspin, we are a 50-50 shareholder, but its main role of Spinnova is still to provide the innovation. And then, of course, we have been integrating some of the global brands. The main aim is to basically utilize their expertise also. And this is how we are aiming to go towards really to make the impact with this innovation. We have been expecting to get the first production plant, commercial scale plant by end of 2022 this year. Hopefully we'll be start operating it in the beginning of next year. When this scaling up will be happening, if it looks promising, then we will be going towards 1 million tons of production. That's our plan. I have to check also the time that I'm not taking over. And this is a picture of our Woodspin plant that it is really happening. It's in the central Finland, Jyväskylä, where we are. It's actually a little bit old picture from May 2022. It's already done. So building is done. It inaugurated already, but we are establishing our machines there. I quickly go with the product application that where we are able to use Spinnova. That's very important to know that it has possibility in applying in a versatile kind of application. So we basically see it in a way that how it can be fused to different kind of application. First of all, we can see that it's okay in different kind of textile application like woven, knitted, or even where demanding application like denim. It's quite okay to apply Spinnova, and it can be in any kind of textile application like dyeing as a fiber form, yarn form, or fabric form. This is pretty much okay. And of course, we have been seeing, as we have been launching different products also together with the brand partners, that in versatile applications also it is quite well operating. And that's also a important thing, is that it's not only sustainable fiber because of the sustainable technology, but as it is a cellulosic, and as we are keeping the cellulose in its original form, so it's giving us some very nice properties like anti-odor, one to mention. The reason is that when we are in the man-made cellulosic fiber, when we are dissolving the fiber, dissolving the cellulose and regenerating it as a fiber, it's actually converting. But in Spinnova case, we are not dissolving, not regenerating. It's the direct original cellulose that we typically see in the tree. So here are some of the application. I'm not going it through because I think I am taking already over time, but I want to show in the next slide some pictures, some of the application areas that will probably give you a bit context, that in different kinds of application where you need the performance, where you need some kind of specific properties, it's very much applicable. Most important thing is that its feeling, touch, everything is like a natural fiber. So it doesn't give you very smooth, shiny, that kind of that you're expecting from a synthetic fiber. So that's, I think, the beauty of this product and of course the technology. We are doing this product development, of course, not only by us. We do have textile expertise in-house, but of course we bringing the industry expertise also into it, so that we are collaborating with the brand partners, of course, but also with the industries like machineries companies for the yarn spinning, or dyeing and finishing machine companies, etc., equipment companies, etc. We are also working with. I will be ending up by talking something about sustainability. I don't need to show these things, but here are some of the example products you can see that has been launched so far this year. And then I'm going to show that why it is actually, in a nutshell, that why it is sustainable and why it has the potential for the future to transform the industry. So in the left hand side you can see that what we are putting into our system. So we we can call it waterless process because we don't use any water in the process. Of course, we have the water in the suspension that we are putting in, but in the no process water. And of course, there are no harmful chemical. Even the process has no chemical application. And on top of it, of course, we are taking care that all these products are, or the raw material we are taking are certified. And what we are getting out as is the recyclable material, which can be recycled time and time again. So that's I think one of the very important thing. And of course, as it is a natural material, it's biodegradable. But just some numbers to show that it has a potential of reducing a lot CO2 emissions. So we have actually 72% less CO2 emission than the conventional cotton and 99% less water consumption as conventional cotton. And of course, not to mention that zero harmful chemicals. I will probably end up with a couple of slides. I know that Conrad is waiting to put me out from the stage, but I wanted to really show that this is a new concept. Probably it's good in this kind of forum it is to know. This is called the carbon handprint. I believe some of you already know. So we have been actually trying to show that how Spinnova is better compared to other things. So they have this innovation or the calculation method developed by VTT and University of Lappeenranta, where they are taking a baseline solution, for example, cotton in this case, which is producing 4.6 amount of CO2 footprint. In our case, we are producing 1.28, but most important thing is that we use electricity to produce the heat in order to evaporate. That excess heat actually we are taking back, and we are putting into the district heating system, which giving us minus 3.2, which means that we have actually a climate positive fiber. So that's what I wanted to. So probably I would love to explain further, but I think I am not allowed anymore to take it off. These are good thing about some of the good things about the what responsible sourcing we have. But very important thing probably just for you to know also that we are not only going ahead as an innovation house, innovation company, but we are actually growing as a company, which already shows that we have been a publicly listed company. On top of it, we have been able to actually produce our first ever ESG report for such scale of company. It's probably not very common, but wanted to proudly share here. And that's based on GRI standard, whoever want to know. Thank you very much. I wanted to quick enough, but I believe I was not quick enough, Conrad. Yeah, thank you.